This is Ashley Hodge with the Sikkim 365 postgame podcast call-in show coming to you after Baylor's 81-70 win over Kansas. Probably the most incredible thing I've witnessed in my 55 years of watching basketball. Well, I haven't been watching basketball for 55 years, but for 47 or however long it's been, that second half, just given the odds against us with the injury to VJ, Jeremy Roach, Langston Love still hurt. I know that's no slight to the, 5-6 guys that we played that played incredible. But to think that they could come back from 19 down against Kansas and end up pulling off that comeback was just absolutely remarkable. I mean, and there's a lot to talk about and celebrate if you're a Baylor fan. We got Josh Ojianwuna. He's coming in here. He's going to put on a headset. Let's give him his flowers. He played terrific, especially in the second half, as all the Bears did. 30-point difference, Walker. Walker's on the board tonight. Wasn't it a 30-point difference?
I believe so.
I mean, I think we outscored Kansas by 30 points in the second half. Just unbelievable. It's two parts. I mean, we got to, say that, the gritty win by Baylor. Robert Wright was terrific. Jalen Celestine hit some huge shots. Those were big. He hit 4 threes, and Norchad was a man on the glass. He hit 13 out of 14 free throws. That was tremendous. Ends up with 16 rebounds. Josh did some great things, especially down the stretch. He went 3 for 4 from the line. He grabs 9 rebounds. I mean, I'm speechless. I mean, it's, and part of it's Kansas. I mean, Rock Chalk Choke Hawk. I mean, that was an all-time choke job by them. They really didn't handle the prosperity well, and they certainly kind of wilted. And that's the 5th win in a row for Baylor against Kansas and Waco. Just terrific stuff. And now Baylor holds a 6-5 edge against Kansas in the last 11 games. So 2 of the best programs in college basketball. Baylor proved why. They still are in that mix tonight. And the early reports on VJ, we're not medical people, but it sounds like maybe a sprained ankle. So that's good news. Hopefully that's true. And Scott Drew said in the postgame with John Morris and Pat Nunley that he thought Roach was going to play today. He said, he got the word last night that he wasn't going to go tonight. So hopefully that means he's available for Texas Tech. I've heard that Langston Love, should either be available for that game or the UCF game on Saturday. So we're close to getting a full squad back. I don't know about VJ if he's going to have to miss a game or two because of the sprained ankle, but hopefully he's back soon and we get our full complement of players and some things to look forward to. I mean, this makes you feel better about the team and the direction. What a difference a half of basketball can make. That's a big win. Call in with your questions. Let's hear your comments. As soon as Josh gets here, we'll put a headset on him and we'll ask him questions. We certainly want to hear about what Scott Drew's halftime speech was all about, and hopefully he can shed some light on that. It's a call-in show. The link is in the premium section of Sikkim 365. There's a link there. You can click on that. Make sure you're unmuted. Walker, do we have any calls?
Yep, we have a
Awesome.
couple. This should be Eric.
Hey, Eric. Welcome to the post-game call-in show with Ashley Hodge, Walker Saunders on the board.
How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
I'm doing
Couldn't
pretty
be
well
better,
myself.
as a matter of fact.
Yeah. It's a good day. It's a good day to be a basketball fan, good day to be a Baylor Bear fan. That's a full range of emotions in about 2 hours, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
You have a question?
I guess it was more of a comment. I think we brought in Norchad O'Near to be this physical presence inside. In the last couple of games, he's kind of straight outside, but when he goes down low and he focuses on getting boards and turning the possession back over to us, we just become a different team.
Right.
And I think that, he just bossed one of the best centers in the country.
Yeah. No, he and Josh both. I mean, they frustrated Dickinson in the second half. They made KJ Adams, kind of a non-factor. KJ played 30 minutes, only registers a 73 offensive rating, 4 turnovers. There was a lot of points given up in the paint, but the Bears keep Kansas 6 for 22 from 3-point range. I think most of those were in the first half. I'd love to see maybe they hit 1 in the second half, maybe 2. But I think that's the case. Just to turn a 19-point deficit into an 11-point win, just an incredible come back and really, they take the lead and then they get down 10. Like, and you're like, okay, this is done. I mean, this is over. You see that so many times where teams foster the energy, no pun intended, to come back, get a lead, and then turn around and just run out of gas. And especially without VJ, the air kind of goes out of the gym when he hobbles off with his ankle sprain, and you're just thinking this is a impossible task, and they got it done. I mean, credit to those guys, unbelievable effort.
Yeah, 100%. Guess my only thing left to say is amazing atmosphere, but it could have been more filled. I think that we really need to support our guys. If you got season tickets, make the drive down, make it a day trip. We got to make this push towards March. Got a great roster.
Did you notice some empty seats? I didn't really notice that many.
No, I mean not too many, but say you're out of stater and you got tickets, talk on the board, see if you can get a deal going.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, great crowd.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, great win. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Walker, we got another one?
Yep, we have Bart right now.
Hey, Bart. Welcome to the Postgame Call-In Show with Ashley Hodge and Walker Saunders.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, Bart's out?
Yes.
Okay.
We have T-Rex for you.
Hey, T-Rex. How you doing?
Hey, guys. I did. I didn't at times, and then I did enjoy it at other times. So I take back anything that I tweeted in the first half or at halftime. I
bet there's a lot of that. I can only imagine. I can't wait to read the game thread and see the wringing of the hands, and to see the full range of emotions on display by very, very emotionally mature posters, I'm sure.
Well, I got to say one of the advantages of going to a game, post it out. So,
yeah. Yep.
Absolutely. But anyways, I do have a question.
You broke up. You're gonna have to repeat the question.
You broke
up for a second.
You know what? Okay. I was going to say, my question is, when's the last time that Kansas ever won a basketball game in Foster Pavilion? You know what? I know the answer. It's never. Imagine never winning a basketball game in someone's arena. Couldn't be us. We've won in Kansas. I was there. I remember it. But they've never won here. Not in Foster Pavilion. Nope. Never done that. Man. Violations. Can't get a victory.
Yeah, Jim Gatto's smiling from his post jail sentence right now. I think it's we've had their number in Waco. They won in 2020 in a very close game. Of course, we returned the favor there in Lawrence that year. But since then, Baylor's had their number in Foster, not only Foster but the Farrell too. And is taking care of business. So that's 5 in a row against Kansas and Waco. I don't think there's too many teams in the country that can say they've won 5 games in a row against Kansas in their home arena. Kansas obviously deserves their props for being one of the top teams in the country. They were number 1 preseason, high expectations. We get a lot of hand-wringing about our NIL situation and our roster construction, but I know Bill Self's, AJ Storr, he's probably their second highest paid player. I would assume Hunter Dickinson's their highest paid player, and AJ Storr, all Big Ten caliber player from Wisconsin, has just been a bust. He plays 6 minutes tonight. He scores 3 points, barely registers any stats. He's not been very good. And Rylan Griffin from Alabama, he ends up with 11 tonight, but he's also not been what they expected. So couldn't happen to a nicer crew. Any other comments?
No. I just love Baylor, and it's somebody who lived in Kansas for like 6 years.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't ever do it. Just live in Texas. It's so much better here. Baylor, awesome. Kansas, not awesome.
From Kansas, yeah. Kendall Cout.
Yeah.
And, many good Bears from Kansas, but
I think they live. Yeah. Well, my wife's from Missouri, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the call.
Yeah, sick 'em.
Don't celebrate too hard. Yeah. All right. We got another call, Walker?
Yes, this should be Matt in DC.
Hey, what's up, Matt? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on? I still can't believe you let that guy call in, the previous caller.
we got pretty lax screener
Yeah.
standards here.
Hey, where has this team been probably all year? I playing at their full potential. I'm so happy to see them just go out there and never give up. I noticed the last few games, the last game we lost, but we kept fighting and kept fighting. It's like, well, as long as we keep doing that, we'll win some games. And sure enough, somehow we turned it on. If we can just figure out a way not to get down, have slow starts. But hey, great effort today. I hope VJ is going to be okay. I hope some of the guys on the bench can keep helping, but just a great win. Going to celebrate. And the good news is I'm going to be up there in 2 weeks for that West Virginia and Arizona game. So looking forward to my first time at Foster. Y'all have a great night.
Hey, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we know Scott Drew's an amazing motivator. Like he gave a speech to the Kansas State game after we beat them in Foster, told them not to give up on their season. I think they rattled off 2 or 3 in a row, including a 19-point win at Iowa State today. That's incredible. But he obviously is a great motivator to his own team. To whatever he said at halftime. Can't wait to hear Josh. Josh, just texted me, said he's in traffic, but on his way. So hopefully he'll be here shortly. But yeah, we want to hear about that halftime speech. That's got to be legendary stuff. Or maybe it wasn't. maybe we just played great. It's sometimes it's a case of that. But great comments, Matt. We got another call, Walker.
Yes, this should be Paul.
Hey, Paul. Welcome to the Postgame Call-In Show with Ashley Hodge and Walker Saunders.
ESPN announcer.
Hey, Ashley Hodge, calling from the closest living quarters to Foster Arena.
Yes.
Yeah, the wife and I were checking the acro tumbling schedule at halftime.
I thought about going and getting a book from the apartment and reading a book during the
Oh,
second half.
there was a guy sitting next to us that had a book too. But, hey, talk about like the Robert Wright's play when he would dribble in top of the key, would get to the free throw line, then he would like shield his defender from behind, and usually we see him just take it straight to the hoop, and he's met by a wall of giants. But he had a little different approach tonight. He did it, I don't know, 3 or 4 times.
Hey, he's learning quick.
Yeah,
who he really reminds me of Jalen Brunson. I mean, he's from Philly.
Yeah,
Brunson just has an unbelievable job. Does an unbelievable job of that, using his body to shield defenders, kind of an undersized guard, obviously one of the best players in the NBA. Hopefully Rob will be that as well after 3 years at Baylor, at least. But yeah, I mean, he has that same capability to, just put a team on his back and take them to a national championship, I think. And we got to make sure that's as a Baylor Bear. He's really good and, certainly showed his value today. And, not a good first half for him. I mean, he made some turnovers. He ends up with only 3 turnovers. I think they all happened in the first half. I think he had 4 points at halftime. But, man, he just played like a superstar the second half. And Celestine as well. I mean, he was huge making those 4 threes. That was big. And, of course, Norchad. Jaden Nunn only has 2 points, but, man, his defense and his just grittiness, I think that was a big part of it as well. So, total team win. Josh, who we're going to celebrate here when he gets here.
I'm not real good at math, but I turned to my wife and asked her, maybe we can get our free throw percentage back up to 100%.
25 from 28, man. You'll take that. That is a really efficient night, especially when Omir's shooting 14 of them and Josh is shooting 4. You tell me they're shooting 18 free throws and we went 25 for 28. I'm like, I feel good about what that result's going to end up being.
I don't think Omir's even hit the rim on his free throw. He was just solid. So.
He was good. Yeah, he was really good. Especially the second half. Again, didn't like everybody. Only VJ really played well in the first half, in my opinion, and Omir played really good in the second half. Just terrific.
Well, to just echo what T-Rex awkwardly said, I just love Baylor.
Yep. It's a great time to be a Bear. It's a sad time to be a Jayhawk, and they've had many triumphs over the years, so they can take a few L's, and they certainly have been taking their share in Waco lately.
Hey, thanks for doing the show, Ashley.
Thank you. Thanks for the call. Yeah, my only complaint about Drew's coaching is I don't know why he didn't play VJ down the stretch more. That would have been. It seems like it would have been wise, especially given our depth. He inserts Jason Azamoda in there at the end. I'm being facetious, of course. There's a reason he didn't play VJ. I kept looking down the tunnel. I had a good view of the tunnel, and I was like, okay, please. All right, you're out. You've been out 4 minutes. Please just start running back to the, and let's see you get back in this game. But it never happened. But his teammates had his back. I mean, incredible stuff. We got any more calls, Walker?
Yes, we'll see. This should be JB.
Hey, JB. Welcome to the postgame call-in show with Ashley Hodge and Walker Saunders.
Never mind, he's muted.
Oh, can you unmute, JB? Make sure you're unmuted.
I'll go to the next.
Okay.
This should be Cam.
Hey, Cam. How's it going, man? Good to hear from you.
Never mind, he is also gone.
All right. We need remember not to unmute yourself. This is an issue, so make sure you figure out how to unmute yourself on the app.
All right, this one just says move to Texas, so we're going to see.
Move to Texas. Welcome to the postgame call-in show.
Another one.
Another one muted. All right.
All right.
I'm sure we had some incredible comments coming, so let's make sure you're unmuted as you listen to this.
All right, this one should be AJ.
AJ, welcome to the postgame call-in show. There we go. I hear you, AJ. AJ. Hey, you're on with Ashley Hodge and Walker Saunders. Hey, AJ, go ahead and ask your question. Okay. We're 0 for 4 here. All right. Do we have any more?
It does not look like it.
Okay. Well, all right. We're going to kill some time while Josh is, he says he's on his way. So we definitely want to hear from him. Hopefully he'll be walking in that door soon. So you were at the game, Walker?
Yes, I was.
Were you in the student section?
Yes, I was.
Okay. So let's hear your, your observations sitting in the student section.
Well, I want to start it off at about 11 a.m. this morning.
Yeah.
We showed up there, and there were people in front of us for being 4 hours early before.
That's great.
So
good to hear.
The student side of the fan base, I was very excited about. But I think that we looked very good in our student section. We got loud. I kind of had a similar view of our tunnel and was hoping that VJ was going to come out.
Oh yeah,
but never happened.
Yeah, never happened.
Yeah.
It was great to see. There were fans that left at halftime. I don't blame them. That was an absolute disastrous first half. They're like, hey, let's go out to eat. We're not winning this game. And, but the students didn't. The students were there. They gave energy. Man, they really participated in that comeback. That place got loud. It was definitely the loudest I've heard Foster. I've heard it loud.
The other one is Iowa State at home last year.
Yeah, that was loud. That was a very contentious game. We got a total screw job by the ref. Somehow pulled that out. Jaden Nunn was a hero in that game late. But, this one was probably – equal to that or better.
Yeah, definitely.
Incredible atmosphere. Obviously, winning matters. It's just, it's one of those games. Sports is funny. I think Scott said in his 22 years of coaching, he's never had a better win, which is an interesting comment to make, given that he won a national championship. He probably met. I think the word he used was a more meaningful win, given the odds. Agreed. And he used the example of Gideon in the Bible, just that sometimes you just keep getting people taken away from your army and you're like, okay. And, sometimes God uses, just a few to do his work. And certainly that was the case tonight. Jason Azamoda, he doesn't register any points. He does have that assist, I think, to Norchad or Josh at the end of the game. But he did some good things. I mean, he was active. We need that from him. I think when Jaden fouled out, I looked over at the coaching staff. I had a really good view of them, and there was a little bit of a mini panic in their eyes. I mean, but Kansas, couldn't make us pay. And a lot of that was Rob Wright, just doing a terrific job handling pressure. He's been tried by the fire, and, he's risen to the occasion. So now he's playing like a mature All-American, type of guard right now. I mean, just terrific. Norchad, as we've mentioned, the 16 rebounds. I want to say, I got to look at the stats to see how many of those were in the second half. I mean, I just would think, most of those were in the second half. I think he only had a few at halftime, but I'd have to go back and look at the stats to know if that's true. I don't have the first half stats pulled up. VJ was really good. I think he did some great things to put us in a position to that comeback. I think when he went out, maybe we would cut it to 3 or something like that.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, and he got fouled on that play. I thought he did, the play he got injured. Just a gritty win. It's interesting, Tony Padilla, we talk about this on the message boards. He's a ref that it seems like every time we get him on the road, bad things happen to Baylor. and we just had him at BYU. Had him at BYU twice, this year and then a year ago. We had him at Arizona. I was at that game, and he made, 2 quick fouls on, I think calls on Norchad. He's rated at the number 7 ref in Ken Palm's database. But I think he's been in Waco for this KU Baylor game maybe 3 out of the last 4 times, maybe 4 out of the last 5, and we've gotten wins every single time. Because I was looking that up, because I started to get a little conspiratorial after the BYU game. I was like, all right, I'm checking this guy out. When has he done Baylor games? How many have we actually won? And I was like, okay, it's not that bad. Not many road games, but, he has done a lot of games, big games in Waco, and we've been on the right side of that more often than not, especially against Kansas, obviously. But, yeah, good win tonight. It's going to be really fun to watch the post-game shows with Scott Drew and Bill Self. I can only imagine the emotions that Bill Self is that has right now. Jack just texted me, I've been here 22 years. I don't know I've been more proud of a group. That's the quote that Scott said in the post-game. So good clarity there. Let's see. Hob Howe says, is this the best in-game coaching job by Scott Drew ever, other than the Gonzaga game? Maybe.
It's up there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what adjustments they made. Be interesting for those that are watching. Do we have any calls, by the way?
Nothing.
Okay.
Right now.
It'd be interesting for those that watched the game live to hear their perspective on that, just as far as like what adjustments did we make? I saw we played some zone. We did a terrible job on ball screens in the first half, absolutely atrocious. And whatever we did in the second half, whatever adjustments we made, it worked. That was definitely something I took note of. Let's see. All right, just looking through some other texts, see what other questions are coming in.
I've got a little bit of a comment. If you're
let's roll with it.
I was gonna say we were down 19 at halftime.
Yep.
And I believe that by the 16-minute timeout, we were down 6.
Okay.
And I believe that by the 14-minute mark, we were leading the game.
Okay. I think you may be right. I know for sure we went on a 7-0 run. So I think that, well, Bill Self may have taken a timeout though before that. Like you may be right.
I think you're right.
Okay. Josh says he's pulling up, so he should be here very shortly. Can't wait to talk to him. This is Paul who called in. Can you read some of the texts you received and sent at halftime? Well, the good news is I did not send any text and not because I didn't want to, but because I was like totally incapable of sending texts. But let's have some let's have some fun with that. Let's see. Let's check my group chats out here. I'm not going to name any names. Can't remember much worse of a half in a critical game at home. Yeah, I would agree with that. That came in at halftime. How do we get this thing fixed next year? This thing is cooked, freaking awful. We're just charm and soft. Very accurate to say that at halftime for sure. And let's see. Okay, this is Josh. Let me Walker, you talk for a minute while I take this call.
All right, we'll do. I'll talk about the fact that in the student section, I've had a couple friends who have been Baylor fans for their entire lives, and in the first half, we were very disappointed, to say the least. And at the end of the game, they came up to me and they said that this feels like the turning point of our season. And I don't disagree with them. We have some tough games coming up, but we also have some very winnable games. We have a lot of quad 1A games that we need to win. Texas Tech is going to be a big one coming up. But I think that we have games like Oklahoma State where that's a very winnable game. And I would say the only real must-win in our next couple games, but we put together some wins, and I think we're going to be a pretty dangerous team in March. And hopefully we're going to end up, just as a team that if we come in as a 6 seed or we come in as a 7 seed, I mean, hopefully a little bit higher. But if we come in as one of those seeds, I feel like we'll come in and we'll shock some teams. We'll have to play some high rated teams, and we'll have to kind of battle for a couple wins. But I don't think I'm too worried about it. I'm a bit excited for how Baylor basketball is looking, especially from a student's end. I wasn't expecting this season to be like that, but I'm happy with how it's gone, especially over the last couple weeks.
Okay, this is great. Good job, Walker. This is compelling show, I'm sure. Yeah, Josh is he just didn't know where the entrance is. He should be here any second. We'll put a headset on him. We'll ask him a few questions, and then we'll get out of here. But I didn't even hear what you were saying because I was talking to Josh. But let's talk about Big 12 scores to kill a minute here. We got Texas Tech's up 44-40 at Houston. They're legit. I hope Texas Tech wins that so that they, are feeling great about themselves, and maybe we can sneak up on them Tuesday night. That's going to be a tough place to get a win. BYU ends up beating UCF at UCF. Big win on the road for them, 81-75. I noticed Catchings, their superstar freshman, ends up with 0 points after he has the game of his life against us. He had 12 minutes, 0 points. So that's the highs and lows of being a freshman. Oklahoma State beats Utah. Big win for them, 81-72. They protect their home court. We talked about the big Kansas State victory at Iowa State. Pretty shocking score there, 80-61. There's Josh. Josh, good to see you. Come on in. Let's take a seat, put the headset on, and talk as close to the microphone as you can. There's a water for you as well. Congratulations, man. What a win. That was big time. Yeah. All right, Josh is in the house. We'll get some questions for him. And hit that app if you're listening. If you got questions for Josh, we'd love to hear from you. I know there's some questions that were loaded in the chat, so we'll get to those. So then the other one was Arizona. Arizona beats Arizona State, and that was a close game, and then Arizona kind of took control. There was a couple of ejections at the end. I think Caleb Love got ejected, and B.J. Freeman got ejected as well for headbutting Caleb Love. So that was some excitement in the desert. But Josh, terrific job. What a second half. All right, the question everybody wants to know is, what did Scott Drew say to you guys at halftime? What was the speech? Like, what turned the tide? I mean, did he just say, this is embarrassing, we need to play better? Or what were his comments?
Yeah, he said that, but he also said, like, if you lose while playing hard, you can live with that. But if you lose without even giving no effort, that sucks. Right. So I feel like that was kind of what motivated everyone in the locker room. And also even the players, too. We knew, like, the first half was a terrible start from, like, us. So, we got to, step up. I know we play us short, but we're not using that as an excuse, saying, we have some guys who are out who are not able to play, so right. We're going to be all right. But no, the guys who are going to play, we need to come in and just give it energy. At the end of the day, that's what we did, and you can see the result. We won.
Absolutely. Well, you played terrific. I mean, everybody played terrific in the second half, but it doesn't happen without you and Norchad on the glass. I mean, you guys were just you controlled the paint and controlled the glass, and free throw line. I was commenting on this. You look really confident. I know you missed your last one, but 3 for 4, that was great. And then Norchad steps up, makes 13 out of 14. That's big. You guys shot 89% from the free throw line. Yeah. Obviously, Jalen Celestine was terrific. Made those big threes. To give us some momentum. That one that you had the assist on, where you get the rebound, you kick out to him, and huge three. That I think that put us up 3 if I remember right. Yeah. All right, so defensively, the ball screen, we had trouble with that in the first half. What adjustments did we make?
To me, at the end of the day, the game plan to me didn't change defensively though. Apart from when Hunter wasn't in the game, I think we switched defense. But coming into the game, we're gonna pack the paint.
Right. Make them make jump shots.
Because the guys who were playing against, let me say this, they have MDs, guys who can shoot like Griffin and Mayo. So if you're guarding them, we don't need you in the paint. But if you're guarding like KJ Adams,
he's not going to be popping threes against you, right?
So I feel like just doing that alone, that actually did help us because the game plan. If you look at Kansas, they always play two bigs, high low, high low, high low. So I feel like doing that, coming into the game, saying okay, we're just gonna keep Hunter out of the paint and also pack the paint. If you're guarding KJ, don't worry because he's not shooting no threes. He hasn't shot a three the whole season. So we just had to pack the paint. That was what the coaches told us to do.
Yeah, was it just me or were they sticking that hip out on screens a lot? Did you notice that?
Yeah, I go into the aspect of if you play against Kansas. Yeah. They're not going to call no foul against Kansas.
Yeah.
It's Kansas.
Calls that go against you and Norchad, they seem to get away with that.
They don't call that against Kansas. I know.
I mean, but Flory is a good player, but Badunga, I think is how you pronounce the last name, and he was just literally pushing guys on the ball screens at times, Yeah,
because I think Chad tried to do that on the 10 screen or at VJ or one of that. I can't remember, and they called it against that. I'm like. But they're literally doing the same thing. KJ Adams come and he pushes and short roll. I'm like, it's literally the same thing we're doing. So I don't know why we're getting the foul called on us and not getting foul called on them.
Well, we were fortunate that only Jaden fouls out because you're playing with 4 fouls. Norchad played a long time with 4 fouls. Yeah. I know people are asking about VJ. You're not a doctor, but does it kind of just look like a sprained ankle?
I don't know what is going on right now, but I'll just with the whole team, we prayed, and hopefully it's not anything serious, and he can be able to play our next game. So
yeah, and I know Scott said this in the post game show, so this is not insider information, but he thought Jeremy was going to go because Jeremy's been practicing, and Langston's been practicing too, right? Maybe limited reps, but. So you'll hopefully get them back this week, and then you have your 8-man rotation.
Yeah, hopefully that's the goal. I know they don't impact the game on the court, but off the court they're standing up, cheering, encouraging us. Even when we're down, they're oh, we got this. So I feel like not having them play kind of sucks. It hurts the team, but also knowing that they're on the bench, giving you confidence, encouragement off the bench is actually that's what we need. So we love it.
I want to ask you about your. It's been you've been playing really well since December. Starting with the UConn game, I know you had a couple games, just recently that you probably want to forget. But today was great, and you've had some incredible efforts. Arizona State. I was there for that. You were just a man among boys in that game, talk about maybe what's changed in your approach and has it been something the coaches have been saying to you? Has it just been a lights come on to some degree, or what's your confidence? What's happened?
Going into the season, I think because it's the big growth for me because now I'm starting, right? So I had so much thoughts in my head about worrying about playing through mistakes or saying, oh, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting that, why am I here? Sometimes in the game, I'm oh, next game, this game is already done. Right. But I had to switch my mentality when I was I had a conversation with Coach Drew, and he told me, I will never take you out for making mistakes. That's what he told me. It's we all love you as a team, we want you. And he also told me, we need you to go where we want to go, during the season. Right. So don't worry about going in and playing worried about mistake, worried about coming out, worrying about not getting enough minutes. He said, let me say I play you for 2 minutes. I want you to play as hard as you can for 2 minutes. Right. And that's all I want. I don't take anyone out because of mistakes. Right. So that helped me change my mentality of going into the game, of thinking about, don't worry about no mistake. I'm not perfect. There's going to be mistakes anyway. So just go in there and play hard, and good things happen when I go in and play hard. And that's my mindset this whole time. I just go in and just play hard.
Yeah. Well, you had 2 block shots today that were called fouls, but they were clean blocks. Yeah. Just terrific job. And what was the celebration like in the locker room? What obviously I'm sure you celebrated Rob. I mean, but it's a team effort. Like what was that like?
Yeah, I know a lot of people who were watching the game when VJ got hurt. Were probably like, I think this is it.
Yeah.
Like Baylor is done. But at the end of the day, we have guys who like in the moment are gonna step up.
Right.
Like I feel like everyone on the team is gonna step up when the time matters a lot. You can see Rob, he had 24 points.
Yep.
Like,
only 4 at halftime, so 20
so
after.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I told him like, I'm not gonna lie to you, Rob. No one here can guard you. Like, keep driving, keep getting into the paint, and that's why if you all watch the game, that's what he did. He just kept driving, and no child Congo's like back Congo screen for him. I do that too. I'm like, just keep going to the rim. At the end of the day, we know there's one guy who is hot on the team. Keep giving him the ball, and he was that guy at the moment, and we kept giving him the ball to like just keep driving. So yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't remember the last time he missed a free throw. He's been really good at the line. And a lot of, some pretty pressure shots too. That was terrific stuff. Like, so what did Coach Drew say to you guys? He said in the post-game radio interview, he said, I don't think I've ever been more proud of a team in my 22 years of coaching. Did he make those same comments to you guys in the locker room?
That's what he told us, because it's not a lot of team that you see being down 21 at the halftime.
Yeah.
Coming in to win the game by double digits.
Right.
So I understand, like, there was so much love in the locker room of he saying how he's proud of our effort. Second half, the way we played was a way, way better half than first half. So I feel like the encouragement we had from him, and also like the teammate also, like, we believe, like, bro, we're down 21, yes, but we have 20 more minutes of basketball to play.
Right.
So we can come in here and say, oh, like, we're down, it's over. We can come in here and fight to win. And we came in and we fought, and we got a result. We won. Yeah.
Well, every Baylor Bear can say that they've never lost to Kansas the last 5 years in Waco. In year one, I mean, you've now got 3 straight wins against the Jayhawks, and they're not easy to do. I mean, they're obviously one of the premier programs in the country, and just a terrific win. And congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Next up, so you got a pretty hard stretch here. You got Texas Tech, then we got UCF at home, and then we go to Houston. We know those are going to be 2 of the tougher places to play in the country, Texas Tech and Houston. But you've been to some tough environments. What's the toughest environment so far, in your opinion?
To me, are you talking about this season or last
season?
This season, I would say BYU. BYU was tough.
Their fans get after it.
Yeah, we had the fans are like the impact the game. Like, let me say, we playing, they hit a 3, you can hear the whole stadium go nuts. So I feel like to me that's probably like the hardest place we've actually played at. Yeah.
We know UConn was good.
Yeah, UConn was good for sure.
Arizona was good.
Arizona was good. Yeah, Arizona was good too. Yeah, but to me, I feel like the fans who impact the game the most that I've been at is probably BYU.
BYU, yeah. Well, I'll have to tell some of my BYU fans that you said that, and they'll love to hear that. Well, I mean, that's all. Do we have any calls, Walker? Okay. Josh, thank you for coming in. Some good stuff. Man, that was exciting with the full range of emotions. And credit to Baylor fans, because there are a lot of fan bases that would have emptied that arena at halftime. And they stayed and they made a difference, and that was a really good environment the second half. So,
because if you actually watch the game, we had a lot of turnover issues.
Right,
we were turning over the ball, and I know, like, it's not a lot of fans who are gonna sit down being down 21 saying, oh, like, let's watch the game, we have faith in the team. But I feel like we fed off the energy, not just from the bench though, but also from the crowd. You can see when it was like up to like a 4-point, we're down, or like 6-point game, you can hear the stadium, and I'm like, oh, we have to win for the fans too, not just for us, but also like the fans who are actually supporting us. So
and the
like
students were terrific. I mean, I didn't see any students leaving. Did you notice any students leaving, Walker? Yeah, shout out to the students. They as Walker said, they were here before 11 o'clock, lined up for tickets, and that's a big commitment, and they were rewarded very well for that. So let's make sure that environment is the same way the rest of the season. We got some big games and Foster coming up, and we need to get wins. Definitely. Congratulations, man. I hope you celebrate and have a great night tonight and get ready for Texas Tech. You've been listening to a post-game call-in show. Ashley Hodge, Josh Ojianwuna, and Walker Saunders, Sick 'em Bears.